So my sister and I have this thing that we do where I'll watch a show that she doesn't want to watch and then I will tell her about the show. I just recently watched season 3 of From, and she said that other people might be interested in hearing how I tell the story. Fair warning, I only say like 3 names, so I will give references to who I'm talking about. So let's get on to the ignorance. Alright, so episode 5, right? This one ain't gonna be a long one. This one gonna be real quick because everything that happened in it is not important for right now. But the sheriff's son, he found out his wife eating rotten crops, and she finally, cause he called her, and she was like, "You can't help me. Something's wrong with the baby. It has to be something wrong with the baby." Okay, so now he know that his wife is eating rotten food. The whole town now knows that RV mom left and came back. And instead of them asking her, why in the world would you come back? Or how did you come back? They're asking her why she didn't go to the police and tell the police what was going on and where they were and that this was happening. She just like, they wouldn't have believed me. What? So they yelling at her, cussing her out, and all of this because she did not try and get what they consider to be help, because she didn't go to a bunch of different people and say, this is what happened to me, this is where I ended up, and there's a bunch of people there, and blah 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 blah, monster, and try to get people to come with her back there as if they didn't just stumble upon the place like she did. So she's just like, no. The sheriff tried to talk them down because they all just like, let's go to the tree, let's just go through the tree and go back home and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, y'all sound crazy right now. And the sheriff kept trying to talk them down. She kept trying to talk them down, and they wasn't listening to her because they told her she did everything wrong. She got out, she didn't try to get help, and now look where they at. Now they ain't got no help, don't nobody know what's going on, and blah 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 blah. She even was like, because Victor's dad was there, and she was like, I did tell someone, and look where it got them. That someone is here with us. And they was like, you could have told somebody else. And they said, but he believed you, didn't he? He tried to tell them that his circumstances of why he believed her were completely different than a normal person's circumstances would have been, but they cut him off. And they was like, they cut him off and wouldn't even let him speak. Then the cop who killed the lady the night before, she said, well, when we were in the ambulance, she tried to warn us. We didn't believe her at all. We thought she was just hysterical. They instantly shut down whatever she had to say because they was like, you shouldn't even be in this meeting because you killed somebody last night. Their logic is out the window because they scared. They found out somebody know how to get home, or at least did get home, and now they want the same thing. They want to go home. So it started this whole uproar, right? Sheriff can't get nobody under control. No one can get anybody under control because everybody wants to go to the tree, to go in the tree, to go home. Then the sheriff was like, y'all didn't even listen to what she said. The tree did not send her home. She got home after going inside the lighthouse. He was like, well, let's go to the lighthouse then. Y'all don't know where the lighthouse is. Y'all can't just go to the lighthouse. It don't work that way. So she, of course, just walks out because she's like, I can't do this. I don't got no answers for y'all. Like, I literally have nothing to give y'all. I gave y'all everything that happens to me. So she leaves, and her and the rich guy, because the rich guy, he also knows about like the children, and he's been seeing the symbols and all these like hallucinations and all of this. So he was like, take me to the tree because the tree might have some answers that we can put together. So she goes to the tree with him. They go to the tree together, and they going through the bottles, taking papers out the bottles. The bottles got the papers in the bottles got a bunch of numbers on them or whatever, and He's just like, what if these aren't just random numbers? What if these are dates? And she's sitting over here just sitting here talking about some. But this one says 2659. Girl, that's a date. That's a date. Completely. That is a date. That could either be September 2nd, 1959, or February 9th, 1959. Whatever numbers I just said. But anyway, it don't matter, because that could still be a date. And I'm like, because that place has been around for centuries. Not just like 10, 20 years. It's been around for centuries. This, like, bro, those could clearly be dates. But he just like, we don't know for sure. Then he was explaining to her that the same day that she went through the tree and went to the lighthouse, he also went to the tunnels and he saw the children. He saw the symbol in this, like, on the ceiling and all of this stuff. And while they talking, one of the guys from the plantation house, who's been a butthole all 3 seasons, he walks up with his backpack, talking about some nice tree. The bottles give it a nice touch. They trying to stop this man because he's like, I'm going through this tree. I'm going to go home. I'm going to get some help. And I'm going to try to help everybody. And they're like, don't go in that tree. Maybe you should think about this. You shouldn't probably go. Don't do that. He's just like, somebody needs to do something. So the nigga hops in the doggone tree. Now listen. The sheriff tried to tell them before anybody left the meeting. He tried to tell them that the trees, you don't know where the tree gonna send you, because he went inside of a tree. The tree didn't send him to a lighthouse. The tree sent him underground inside of a chimney. They ain't want to listen to him. This man went in that tree, and the tree sent him inside the town, inside the pool wall. There's an empty pool with a truck in it inside the middle of town. The tree teleported him into the walls of that pool. He suffocated and got crushed to death because the cement from the walls killed him. It crushed his body and suffocated him. All because he didn't want to listen to nobody telling him, don't you go in that tree, because you don't know where you're going to come out of. You don't know where you're going to end up when you go in that tree. And of course, everybody in town sees it because they see this man pop up inside the pool. The sheriff instantly starts yelling at everybody, just like, so who gonna go in the tree next? Who? Which one of y'all want to go to the tree next? Huh? I'm trying to keep y'all safe. I'm trying to keep y'all alive. But y'all don't want to listen. Y'all think y'all know everything. But y'all don't want to listen to nothing when people try to tell y'all information y'all don't know. Like the fact that y'all don't know what this tree gonna send y'all. And there's so many different trees that teleport people in the woods. Y'all only concern is we need to find the one with the bottles, because that one's gonna send us. No, all them trees send y'all a different place. Every single tree gonna send you a different place. It does not matter. It does not matter. You can go in that same tree 5 times. You will end up in 5 different locations every single time. And you better hope that one of them is not you buried in something, because you gonna end up dead. But honestly, I'm trying to remember. That's all that really happened. That episode. I mean, of course, other stuff happened, but oh yeah, Victor saw his daddy. Victor was scared to see his dad because he was just like, my dad's not gonna want me because I'm not the little kid that left the house that day. And his dad was scared that Victor was mad at him for not being a good enough dad. But Victor finally saw his dad, and he broke down. That poor baby broke down because his mama and his sister died in that place. He thought he would never see his daddy again. He grew up literally alone. And now he got his daddy back. As a grown man, he got his daddy back. That poor baby. He just kept saying, I didn't know how to get home. Like, this poor baby. And not his daddy there. Now he gotta make sure his daddy don't die too. Alright, so Victor daddy now think he crazy because Victor went down in the tunnels again, and his daddy decided to follow him because Victor was like, I need the what they call the ventriloquist dummy, because when he was a kid, one of the guys who was there, he had a ventriloquist dummy, and he used to make people laugh with the dummy and stuff like that. But then the guy started seeing symbols, and he started seeing the symbols just like the rich guy. He started seeing those same symbols, and he started changing, and he was no longer like making people laugh. He started shutting himself off and all of this. And one day Victor went to go see him, and he was having a full-blown conversation with the ventriloquist doll, right? And the doll was telling him a full story about the town. And then the guy ends up dying, and the monsters take the doll before Victor gets a chance to like grab it, because the doll made Victor scared after like he saw the doll having a conversation with the guy or whatever. Victor got scared of the doll, so Victor didn't want the doll, so the monsters took the doll, and the doll was inside the tunnels. So Victor is looking for answers. Him and Sarah were going to go into the tunnels, but Victor ended up running into his dad and seeing his dad again after 40 years of not seeing his dad. So his dad follows him into the tunnels. Now, the monsters live in the tunnels, remember? The dad keep talking to Victor the whole time, because Victor wanted to go down there by himself, but his dad wouldn't let him. So Victor was like, okay, fine, you know? And because Victor was just like, because his dad was like, I already lost you once, I'm not gonna leave you again. And Victor didn't want for his dad to go, because Victor was like, I can't let you get hurt down there or whatever. So they go, and everything is going well, aside from the dad constantly, we need to turn around, maybe we should go back. They get to the place where the stuff is, and Victor gets the dummy, puts it in his bag, and literally as soon as Victor picks up the flashlight, the dad instantly sees something that belonged to Victor's mom. And he instantly, oh my God, this was your mom's. Like, nigga, why is you making all this noise in this tunnel with this monster sleeping literally 4 feet away from you? Sir, nigga. Then, one of the other monsters, she was wide awake and was like, Victor, if you keep coming down here, we might make you stay. They turned and ran, of course. And now Victor took his dad to the truck that he had been hiding in and using, because of course Victor been there for over 40 years. So Victor has like a bunch of different little hideouts or whatever, and the truck is one of them. And he took his dad to the truck, and his dad was like, what is this place? Victor was like, this is just a place where I go when it gets too loud. And he said he used to hide there, and his dad was just like, because you were alone. And his dad was about to break down crying, and Victor was like, no, it's fine, it's okay, because there's people here now. And I'm just like, this baby was by himself for God knows how long he was actually alone in this town. The fact that he survived alone in that town with a bunch of monsters, the monsters wanted Victor to stay alive. He wanted Victor to live. They wanted Victor to live. Had to have. Because there's no way that Victor, when he was a child, a little boy, they allowed him to just keep roaming that town by himself, hiding in places where they could easily get to him. There's no way. They wanted Victor alive. had to, and ain't nobody think about the fact that they kept Victor alive. The monsters kept Victor alive for 40 years. Nigga. But anyway, Victor daddy now think Victor crazy because Victor just like, I'm gonna make the doll tell us the story again. And his dad just looking at him like, that is a toy, Victor. It's not gonna tell you nothing. Like, now the man think the boy crazy. Well, now the man think his son crazy, not the boy, because Victor is far from a boy. What else happened? Oh yeah, RB mom, she started seeing the children again. They was in her house, and so she took her son to go see the rich guy or whatever, because the rich guy found a second bottle tree in the woods, and they are all in the bar or whatever. He got Ethan figuring out whatever puzzle he got from the bottles or whatever, trying to help him figure out the puzzle. And he got Ethan helping him figure out the puzzle or whatever, and he talking to her about how he don't think the children gonna harm her or whatever because they trying to get help from her. And then she starts looking at the pictures that he drew of the statues at the little cabin area, the little settlement, the little statues that was supposed to be like warding off evil or whatever. She started looking at them pictures, and she instantly starts crying. Then she starts talking about these red boulders in a circle with those statues around it. And she was like, I used to have dreams. I used to have nightmares when I was a little girl about this place, and I did not know that I was having nightmares about this place. Victor's mom is not the only one who had dreams or saw visions of this place. She had been having dreams and visions of that town since she's been a child, and she never knew because she just thought it was a nightmare. That is insane, bro. That is insane. Then also, there was an ultrasound machine on the ambulance. So the sheriff go tell his son and his wife so they can go get an ultrasound of the little demon inside of her, right? And before they go, they tell the sheriff what's been going on with her eating rotten food or whatever, and like all of that, all her weird cravings and stuff. They go to the clinic to get the ultrasound, right? And the doctor's just like, girl, you're not pregnant. There's no baby inside you. There's nothing in your uterus, ma'am. There's nothing there. And she's like, no, there's something in me. You better find it. And it was just like, there's nowhere to look to find anything inside you. There's nothing there. And she's just like, all right, well, Sheriff's son just like, okay, it's time for us to tell them what's going on, what's been happening, because something is happening. Something is going wrong right now. So that's what's going on with the pregnant lady. Who else? The black guy off the bus. The lady. There's a lady in a kimono. Because I told you about him not being able to sleep because the lady keep trying to like ask him for help or whatever, and the lady keeps coming to him or whatever. Well, the lady is the lady in the kimono, and the lady is still coming to him still, and she keeps asking him to help her. She's not saying how, she's not saying who she is or what he need to do to help her. She kept asking him for help, and she was like, this time she said she want his help to, and she could help save them if he helps her or whatever. Then also Randall, remember I told you the monsters took Randall, beat him up, and then left him on top of the ambulance. Okay, so Randall ain't dead, right? Because remember I told you they ain't killed Randall. They wanted Randall to stay alive. Randall not dead, okay? Randall's still alive. Randall, they put a gash in his neck. The gash wasn't deep enough to cut anything, but it was deep enough to leave a huge gash in his neck Then they also tore the skin off his cheek and left it hanging there. So Randall just been in pain. And of course, pissed at the sheriff for leaving him out there with the monsters. But Randall is now moving into the clinic with the doctor and her fiance. So Randall is preparing to do that. He's also just like, he admitted that he's been terrified. He's been terrified staying in the bus ever since what happened to them when they almost died. He's been terrified because he's out there alone. He's in the bus alone. So I don't think Randall been able to sleep for real because he's living in the bus. And there's no covers to cover up the windows, the monsters. He's literally spends all night looking at the monsters, and the monsters spend all night looking at him, tapping on the door, talking to him all night. And after everything that man went through, with him being in a coma, almost dying, and all of that, this man admitted that he is terrified. He is freaked out staying on that bus. So he's moving into the clinic. And that's everything. Yeah, that's everything. Including some of the stuff from the last episode that I was just like wasn't important yet. That's also added. Because the rich guy, he did see the red boulders and stuff like that. But it didn't make no sense until, baby girl said she had dreams about it when she was a kid. Oh, and the sheriff, the deputy, he's moving into the colony house. Because, well, now that his mama is dead and she not staying in her house no more, the RV family is now staying in that house, and he don't want to keep living there with them. So, yeah. Listen. The sheriff's son. Remember, okay, so in the last one I just told you there's no baby, right? So there's no baby. She freaking out, okay? She's going crazy. They telling her that she probably just losing her mind, and the place is making her believe that there's a baby. But then they also saying, or it could be like when the sheriff had worms inside his skin and they couldn't see the worms, but they were there. So they just like, maybe there is something inside of her. It just won't show up on the ultrasound or whatever. It don't want them to see what's inside of her. And so I'm just sitting here like, girl, whatever it is, baby girl is going crazy. Like, actually going crazy. She just stabbed and killed cancer lady. She just stabbed and killed the old lady with cancer. Just killed her. Dead. Lady dead, baby. Dead. Okay? The police officer that was on the ambulance that handcuffed RV mom, now the sheriff took her gun after she shot and killed that lady or whatever. The sheriff took her gun. She is going crazy the same way Randall went crazy when he first got there. She is going crazy, and she just like, I'm a real cop. Unlike somebody running around saying that they the sheriff or whatever. So give me back my gun. He's just like, you'll get your gun back when you can prove that you know how to use it properly. And she's just like, nah, give me back my gun right now. I want my gun. I'm a real police officer. I'm just like, girl, why you want the gun so bad? What you finna do with it? What you gonna do with the gun? There's nothing you can actually do with the gun. You saw your bullets didn't do nothing to kill the monsters. What you finna do with the gun? Kill the people in town? The last time somebody had a gun at free will, willy-nilly, it was the sheriff's wife. And she started shooting and killing people in the middle of the street because she lost her doggone mind. She had a whole psychotic break and started shooting and killing everybody. So I'm just like, girl, you don't need that gun. You already sitting here thinking that everybody done lost their mind because they adapted and figuring out ways to live in that town. Meanwhile, you just got there and you just like, I don't want to live here. I don't want to get comfortable living here. I don't want to adapt and figure out how to survive this. I want to figure out a way to go home. Oh, no, she for sure, if she get the chance, she finna start killing people. I just know she is, because, girl, calm down. Calm down. That nigga gave her gun after taking every bullet out of the magazine. He made sure she didn't have not one bullet and handed that gun straight to her. And she was like, still pissed, but she left with her gun. And oh yeah, baby boy, the black guy off the bus, kimono lady, he figured out where to, like, how to help kimono lady somewhat. He went to the cellar, the same cellar where Victor hid where Victor was hiding when the whole town got killed around him when he was a little kid. He went to that cellar. He found a room inside. He found a secret room inside the cellar, and he asked the kimono lady if this is where it happens, because he's trying to figure out how he should help her. So he in the little cellar or whatever. RB dad, RB mom, the rich guy, and Ethan are in the woods near the cabins with the statues and everything. RB dad just found out that RB mom had dreams about that place when she was a little girl. Okay, he tried to convince her that she making it up and she ain't really had them dreams, because he doesn't want for her to have any connections to the place, or for her to try to figure out her connections to the place at all, because he just wants for her to just be comfortable and live there and not want to change anything or try to go home ever again, which is odd to me, because that's what they've been arguing about this whole time. They just been arguing nonstop, because he is so happy that she back and she's at home with them, and he just wants for her to be there. He doesn't want for them to leave. He doesn't want for her to figure out a way to leave. He doesn't want for her to have anything to, like, do with the place, if that make any sense. Like, it's such a strange thing, because he's arguing with her and mad at her because she figured out a way out and she got out. And she just like, you're only mad and arguing with me because you were stuck for 4 days having to raise our kids by yourself. When our son died, you left me to do it all alone. You left me to raise our kids all by myself for a full year, while you shut down and paid no attention to them. And now I was gone for 4 days and you're acting like I ran away and left our kids alone for years. All because you had to do it by yourself. You had to pick up the pieces by yourself while I was gone. And now you mad at me because I'm trying to figure out a way to find out why I was able to leave and why I ended up back here and why I have a connection to this place anyway. And he's still trying to convince her she don't got no connection to the place. Her mind is telling her that she does, and she never had them dreams as a little girl. And she just like, no, I for sure did. Because he keep trying to convince her, you only had that dream one time when you was a kid. And she's just like, no, you don't understand. I had that same nightmare every single night for months as a little girl. And you're not gonna sit here and try to tell me that I never had that dream ever. Like, you didn't know me when I was a kid. So I'm just like, bro, that's insane. Then when she was telling them about the dream, as she walked around the area, she was telling them, explaining the dream to them and how the dream would always go. He was trying to tell her, he's just like, let's say you really did have this dream. And I'm just like, oh my God, if you don't shut up, please. Like, y'all, I don't get it. I don't understand. You're mad at her because she actually figured out a way out. And you're relieved that she is back. You are ecstatic that she is back in that place. Bro, my mindset would be, why are you back? Why are you back? Like, I don't want you in this place. This place is horrible. I don't want for you to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't want for you to be back here. I would be mad that you were back and not mad that you were gone. But no, he is mad at her that she was gone, and he is so ecstatic that she back that he literally wants for her to be locked inside the house so she can never leave again. I'm so confused, bro. So confused. Then also, Randall and RB daughter, she was telling, like, she decided to just follow Randall at random. Like, she just following this man because for whatever reason she don't want to be by herself. So she just following this man, and she tells him that she never got her learner's permit because they ended up in that place and they never went back home. Well, okay, so she never got her learner's permit at first because her little brother died, and her parents just shut down completely. And then when she was going to get it after they went on their trip and went back home. But they didn't go back home. They didn't even go on the trip because they ended up in that place. So she still never was able to learn how to drive. So Randall went and took the van from the colony house, and he was going to teach her how to drive. But while he was driving, he started seeing the cicadas again. And he freaked out, of course, because he's freaking out, jumps out the van, and just runs off into the woods. She's confused because she doesn't see the cicadas. He, out of all three of them that ended up in the like coma situation and almost died, he's the only one who still sees the cicadas. She doesn't see the cicadas. Instead, she hears constant screaming in her head. She hears constant screams. Randall gets like these random cicadas attacking him. She has constant screams going off inside her head. And the other girl, I don't know what she got, because she just convincing herself, because remember, she was a drug addict. She kept relapsing, okay? This is before the doctor like got sent to this place and everything. She was already like a drug addict who just kept relapsing and stuff, because before the doctor went missing and ended up in that place, she was clean. But when her fiance went missing, she relapsed again and was actually on her way back from rehab when the bus ended up in that town and her and the doctor got reconnected. And so then she relapsed again when she got to that place. From the monsters, her having her fiance back, all of it made her relapse all over again. So she is also convincing herself that none of it's real and nothing can hurt her or whatever. So we don't know what kind of like trauma she got from the whole like coma situation or what stuck behind for her. So because she's not allowing for herself to even pay attention to it, if that makes sense. But yeah, so far, oh yeah, also the lady who runs the colony house, she decided, the sheriff told her what's going on with his son and his son's wife and the baby situation. She said, yeah, so about that, they gotta move out. They can't live here, because if the baby is real and it's a monster like the whole worm situation you had going on, then that's dangerous for everybody that live in this house. If the baby not real and it's a psychological thing, that's dangerous for everybody who live in this house, because she could start killing people. So he just like, oh, okay, right, we'll figure out where they can live then. Because she just like, nah, they gonna have to move out. I think it would be best if they moved out. Then baby girl the next day done killed an old cancer lady. Like, bro, come on, not the lady dead. Stabbed the lady straight in her chest. That lady was trying to help her. Okay, So RB daughter and Randall, remember how I told you that they went on a little joyride or whatever, and Randall freaked out and jumped out the car because of the cicadas? So they also ended up running into the ruins of the building that the sheriff went to save Randall, RV daughter, and the doctor's fiance or whatever. They went to that same place because remember when last season the sheriff fell down that well, he teleported into the bottom of that well, or he called it a chimney, whatever. He teleported into the bottom of that well, and somebody just randomly dropped him a rope and he got out. Okay, so RV daughter the next day, because Randall made her leave because she wanted to go inside of the ruins. Randall made her leave. The next day, she asked Randall if they could go back, and Randall told her no. So she took Ethan with her, and she went back to the ruins with Ethan. She went inside, and she saw what was in there. The man who was chained to the wall. She saw her, Randall, and the doctor's fiance chained to the wall, screaming and stuff. And then it stopped. The screaming stopped. The man who was chained to the wall, the man who put the worms inside the sheriff or whatever, he told her that he was like, he needs the rope. Drop the rope down or whatever. Girl, she was the one who dropped the rope to the sheriff, and that's how the sheriff got out of the well, because the well is in the middle of the floor in that room, and she was the one who dropped him the rope. Okay, because when she went inside the ruins, the ruins like fixed itself and kind of teleported her the same way it did the sheriff last season. But when it did it to her, it teleported her to right before the sheriff got out of the hole, because she threw him the rope. Then the man who was chained to the wall told her that she needed to leave, and so she leaves the room or whatever, and then she starts walking down this tunnel or whatever, and she's walking towards people yelling, like arguing and stuff, and she's walking towards it. And before she can like get to where the light and stuff is, the police officer and the deputy or whatever, they take her out of the ruins because she's having a seizure on the floor in like real time. She's having a seizure on the floor. Everything that's happening to her is happening in her head, but in reality she's having a seizure on the ground, and Ethan ran to go get help. They picked her up and took her out of the ruins, and as soon as she got out, she woke up and instantly started hugging Ethan and crying and stuff like that. Now, that's what happened to baby girl. She gonna go back to the ruins. I just know she gonna go back over there because she gonna feel like there's more that she needs to know. Okay, so that happened. The police officer, she just found out because okay, so the sheriff's son came and told him that, of course, his wife stabbed the little old lady, and the sheriff instead of like taking the lady body out and telling everybody, he left the body there inside the greenhouse or whatever, and then he was like, somebody needs to find it, somebody else needs to find it, and we will figure out what to do later, but right now we're gonna hide you. He hid her in the shed, the fake pregnant woman, right? He hid her in the shed and locked her in there, gave her a talisman, and told her to stay there. And she freaking out because she just killed somebody, and whatever's inside of her just made her kill somebody. And he just like, just stay here, we gonna figure this out, okay? Him and his son are arguing, right? Because they find the body. The next morning, someone finds the body, and they instantly think Sarah did it, because they're instantly blaming Sarah, because of course Sarah done killed people already. So they just like, it's Sarah. Sarah killed her. And so they all ready to, pitchforks, go straight to Sarah, right? Sarah ain't do it, of course, because Sarah was with Victor all night, because Victor showed up at Sarah's house with the ventriloquist dummy and has been in Sarah's basement since the night before. He's still in her basement trying to get this dummy to tell him, to help him remember what happened when he was a kid, to help him remember what secrets were being told to the guy who owned the dummy or whatever. But so, of course, Sarah didn't kill the lady, but everybody thinks that she did. They just assume that it was Sarah. And the sheriff is just like, Sarah didn't do it, and he keeps saying it over and over again. The lady who runs the plantation house or whatever, she comes and walks in on him and his son arguing, and she just like, everybody gonna think it's Sarah who did it. Even if Sarah didn't do it, they're going to blame her no matter what. This nigga, he just like, it wasn't Sarah, it was his wife. And she just like, you gonna tell them or I'ma tell them, but they gonna know who did it, and you can't hide it from nobody, and you can't keep her from everybody knowing. You can't fix it because she's no longer safe. Like, she's not safe for people to be around. If she just randomly had a psychotic break and just killed this woman, she's no longer safe, and we need to do something about it. So he tells his son, okay, so she walks out after she's just like, either you tell him or I will, and don't make me have to be the one to do it. So he tells his son, I'm gonna get y'all some supplies and stuff like that, okay? He packed up some supplies, get the supplies to his son, and they on their way to the shed where she's being like held or whatever, where she's waiting for them. They get to the shed, she ain't there no more. I'm gonna tell you what happened to her. I'm gonna tell you that last. So let me tell you the secret that Victor was trying to remember, okay? The secret Victor was trying to remember, he thought that it was, okay, so the way he remembered it beforehand, he thought that the doll was the one telling the guy the secrets, but it wasn't the doll, it was a boy in white. The boy in white was telling the guy all the secrets about the town. And Victor, once he figured it out, because it took RB mom talking to Victor, Sarah had to go get RB mom so that she could calm Victor down and get Victor to start remembering stuff and start talking about stuff. And Victor finally remembered where he was, what he was doing before he found them and heard the secrets, and where he was and stuff like that, so that he could remember. They go to the church basement because that's where it all happened, and he remembers that it was the boy in white. And the boy in white said that it all started, the way to make it end is the same way that it began. And it all started with the children, because the children were born in the dark, and the people that loved them killed them. Well, the people that they loved, the people that the children loved, killed them. They told the children a story, and the children and it gave all the children hope. Then when the children laid on the slabs, they killed the children. And the children's hope bled into the tree, and that's what created the trees that teleport people. And then he said the boy in white told the man to go into a tree to save the children, to make it all stop. The man got angry and started yelling at the boy because the man didn't want to go in a tree. He didn't want to go through the tree. So Victor remembers, at this moment, Victor remembers, he heard that, and so he went and told his mom what the boy in white said about going in the tree to save the children. His mom And that very night, his mom left them to go in the tree. But remember, his mom died before she even got to get to the tree. When she left them literally as the sun was setting. So by the time she got to the tree, it was dark outside, and she got killed right in front of the doggone tree by the monsters. So she didn't even make it to the tree. But Victor telling his mom the story about the kids, and to save the kids, she had to go through the tree, is how his mom ended up trying to go to the tree to save the children. So Victor just remembered that he may have killed his mama. Okay? So that happened. Also, RB dad and Victor daddy had to have a heart-to-heart, because RB dad, so first off, Victor's dad, in the last episode, he admitted that he kind of, at some point, wished when he was with Victor and spending time with Victor while Victor was having a breakdown because the dummy wouldn't tell him the secrets, he had this thought that he wished that he never came and never found Victor, and he felt like the worst dad ever for thinking that. And so he started going on a drinking binge at the bar, and he was there talking to the rich guy or whatever. And then RB dad busted in and started cussing the rich guy out, telling him to stay away from his wife and stop putting ideas in her head or whatever. The rich guy literally said, she a grown woman. She is not 9 years old. You cannot make that lady do nothing she don't want to do. And I'm not putting ideas in her head. She's not a child. She grown. She came to me. I didn't give her those ideas. She came to me with those ideas. I did not tell her nothing. She told me this stuff. And so he left. And when he stormed out, Victor's dad had a heart-to-heart with him, because he was like, have you ever thought, like, just stopped at any point in time and just thought to yourself, maybe I should just shut up and listen to my wife? You know, that's an option. And of course, RB dad is just like, excuse me? Victor daddy is just like, I did the same thing you're doing right now. I did the same thing to my wife when she told me she was having visions about this place. I didn't listen to her. I thought that I could fix whatever was going on with her. I thought I could change it. I thought I could stop her from believing that what she was seeing and what was happening to her was fake. Stop. You should stop. You should stop whatever this is you got going on with trying to control her and thinking that you can fix what she's going through, because you can't, and you can't make it stop happening to her, because it's happening and it's real. Listen to her. Then he just told him, sit down, think about it. You doing all of this not because you are afraid of, not because you feel like you need to fix anything. It's because you're scared. It's because you are afraid that you're scared, and you're scared for yourself. You're doing this for yourself, not for her, but for yourself. Because if what she's saying is true, you can't fix it. You can't help. You can't do nothing. You just gotta let her handle it, and you can't handle that. So that happened. Now, okay, listen. Let me tell you what happened with the black guy from the doggone bus. Okay, so I think I told you about the camera that him and RB daughter found. I don't remember if I told you, but they found a camera in the basement. Okay, and ever since they found this camera, he's been taking pictures of everybody at the colony house. He started taking pictures and making a collage and an album, like a photo album. But randomly, last episode, the camera starts taking pictures by itself. The camera starts just flashing. He put the camera down and stood up in front of it, and it just took a picture. But the picture was of nothing inside that house. The picture was of the cellar doors, which is why he went down to the cellar. Then it took another picture. It took a picture of a blood bag. He went to the hospital. He went to the clinic, stole some supplies, and started draining his own blood into jars and bottles. Then while he was doing that, he took another picture. Took a picture of the shed that the fake pregnant woman was inside of. He went to her, lied to her, and got her out of the shed and took her to the cellar. Put her in the cellar. Okay? And here's why. Kimono Lady. Now, when baby girl was still locked in the shed, she saw Kimono Lady. Kimono Lady was standing there in the shed with her. Kimono Lady told baby boy that the baby is hers. She's pregnant, but the child is not hers. It's Kimono Lady's baby. So this man locked this girl in the cellar. He just locked her in the room, in the back room in the cellar that don't nobody know about, because don't nobody know that room back there. He locked her in that room, in the cellar, with the blood and everything, so that she could safely give birth to Kimono Lady's baby. He dragged her down the stairs of the cellar and locked her in that room and told that woman, no, there is a baby. You are pregnant. It's just not your baby. I'm just like, oh my God. What is about to happen? What is about to happen? Because stuff just getting weird, bro. It's getting weird. It ain't even just, it's not just, happening no more. Now it's getting weird because what you mean? What you mean? Thank you for watching. Again, those are voice memos that I recorded while watching this show, and I sent them to my sister. If you liked watching the video, then tune into the next video for episodes 9 and 10. Please leave a comment of another show that you would like for me to watch and give my commentary on, or tell the show episode by episode like I did with from season 3. Don't worry. Every single time I tell my sister about anything I watch, it goes exactly like this. Most of the time I don't give people actual names. I talk about them based off description. Yeah. So if you like that, let me know if you want more. Bye.